Call in by clicking the link in the stream's description. The professor wants to hear from you.
Beginnings on the cusp. Not too old to adjust. Old dog, new tricks. Remember, I was just a pup. Something dirty in my cup. Clean soul, good car.
Isn't it lovely? I ain't looking back, I'm focused on what's in front of me. Everybody dates a number, but I'm still here luckily. I know that God got me, so I'm in good company. Isn't it lovely?
Welcome, and thank you for joining me this evening. I am Professor Bear, and this is A Bear's Thought. And today's episodes are brought to you by my wonderful, great sponsors. And we're going to start off with Nirvana Comics. If you are like Professor, and I'm a big comic book nerd, the best place you can go in East Tennessee is Nirvana Comics. I tell you, they have some of the best comics. They have some, their selection is crazy wide. And if you don't live in Knoxville, that's okay, because they do have a subscription box where if you do that, you get immediately right off the bat 25% off. Plus, if you do more than $30, it's free shipping. I mean, man, where can you beat that at? So that's Navarro Comics. Now, to my second sponsor. Man, again, I am an all-around nerd. I love everything. I mean, I'm telling you, like, look, you got to see my Ric Flair action figure, man. This is from the 80s. And where did I get that? Well, it's not at Tag Team Toys and Collectible, but they have some amazing figures there. Plus, I had to get rid of my personal ECW collecting figures. And it was only one company that I trusted to do it for me, and that's Tag Team Toys and Collectibles. Again, wonderful. And last but definitely not least, with Topps trading cards and print on demands, I'm already in the process of getting my own trading cards. Yes, I never in my lifetime imagined that I could have trading cards, but it's coming. It's coming soon. And there's only one place I trust them to do a great job, and that is Chops Cards and Collectibles. Man, I'm going to tell you, you can get 18 personalized trading cards for $50. Man, what can you beat that? Plus, if you do like Professor did and put in my code, Bear 15, I got 15% off the entire order. Man, so I'm telling you, if you want great cards and great prints, just they do tremendous work. You need to go to Chops Cards and Print on Demand. I'm telling you, all three, tell them Professor Burr sent you. Thank you. Now, let's get into the nitty gritty and why we are here today. Today's special guest, I'm gonna tell this quick story, and I don't even know if he wants me to, but I'm gonna have to because I loved it. So I went to EPW event in Oliver Springs. It was almost 2 Saturdays ago, and I'm sitting there enjoying the action. It was so action packed, and they had a segment, and this gentleman came out with his manager and his partner, and man, he was talking, and the more he talked, the more I got pissed off. And I just like thinking to myself, he just seems like a jerk. I want to punch him in the face. Well, somebody must have agreed with me because a wrestler came out and challenged him for his title. So they went at it, did the thing. Unfortunately, my guest won. Later on, he comes back out with his partner and he's defending his championship. And where I was sitting, I had two gentlemen next to me, and they had to leave early for whatever reason. And this guy got hit, and he just grabs a seat next to me. And I'm thinking to myself, man, this would be a perfect time just to punch him. So later on, after it was all said and done, he comes up to me and we started talking. I had to tell him. I said, "Man, you did such a great job. I wanted to punch you in the face. You just amped me up." And I said, "It's rare that I let people be able to do that because I know what the business is." But he was so good at his job, and he told me this tidbit, which I felt hilarious. He said when he sat next to me, he really wanted to break character and tell me how much he enjoyed my show. But he's like, no, stay in character, stay in character.
It was hard, man. It was hard. I mean,
My
like I
friend,
said, I'm a big fan of the show, and I love watching the segments. And I was just like, I wanted to just sit there and pick your brain for a minute. And I was like, no, I gotta have these. I can't be over here chit chatting with Bear. I was like, I gotta have these people hate me as much as they possibly can.
well, again, Zach, you did such an amazing job. And again, I was truly enveloped into the whole thing. And again, when you make me tap into what again, you I know what wrestling is,
Hmm.
but you got for me to tap into my kid side where I just like I hate you. I hate you. You did amazing work. And I'm not, and you know I said this to you when we sat, and I mean I'm not just saying this to you because you're on the show. You know
Yeah,
this is honestly how I felt.
I really appreciate it, man. I really do, because it's like everybody that knows the business is the hardest people to to crack, like you said yourself. And I like to take it like an extra challenge. And if I know that somebody out there knows the business as well as anybody, any worker in the back, I want to try and just get you as involved as possible.
You did such an amazing job. So I'm gonna have to start off with the question I always start off with.
Hmm.
What got you into wrestling?
Oh man, it's honestly, I've been a fan of wrestling as long as I can remember. I know that's such a like a stereotypical answer that you get from most people in the business, but like my my dad is a military man. Growing up like that, him and mom would scrounge up money to just watch pay-per-views. and like that's that love transcended, and it just caught like a bug, and I was just hooked on it instantly.
I I understand it. It was so similar to me. My dad was a fan. That meant everybody in the house had to be fans, or at least fake it.
Oh
But
yeah, you
but
gotta make you gotta make the head of the household happy, and otherwise ain't nobody happy.
and this was the rule. You can do whatever you want whenever you want. But when wrestling came on, you had to either get the hell out the house or be quiet. It wasn't no in between. Even my friends, all the neighborhood kids, knew when they came over, they avoided a certain time because they knew. It was crazy. So, what what was the wrestling that you grew up on?
Oh, I mean, I grew up pure Attitude Era. I mean, like, um, I think one of the first pay-per-views I actually remember watching was uh was Stone Cold Rock WrestleMania. The class he throws on Stone Cold's vest, and it's just back and forth. It's just perfect timing. I mean, the attitude, the emotion. I mean, that's the first one that really just got me hooked.
With that, who was your favorite wrestler? Who was like, I have to be them. I have to be him. He's just so awesome.
Triple H, 100%, 100. So when I started my wrestling journey, I attended the Jacob Pritchard Wrestling Academy, and then I got to know some people like Dylan McQueen and such like that, and I transitioned to Georgia, and I attended the Nightmare Factory under Cody Rhodes. So they have a costume contest for all these under budget wrestlers who are attending the school and everything. So we're out here DIYing. I was like, man, I've got to be Triple H. I think that's been my favorite ever since I was a kid. I got to do it. Uh, Went out, bought a black T-shirt, just a can of neon green spray paint. It made stencils, spray painted my own shirt, cut a blonde. I had a blonde wig on, and I had my buddies trimming it down to try and match it as best as possible because it's like one of those mid back blonde wigs, like hippie wigs.
Right.
And I was like, even now, man, I'm still, even being a part of the business, I'm still I feel like you have to be such a fan, to keep that entertainment alive. And any chance I get, I'll go back, and that's one of my main match studies, and that's who I try to model my in-ring work after the most is him.
So with that, how did you get into the business?
Well, it was right around COVID time, I would say. And it was just like one of those, if something were to, right in the middle of that big pandemic and everybody freaking out and everything like that, it's kind of like a cold realization. It's if you want to do something, you only got one shot at it, so you better try. Um, So it was doing the research, finding out what the best way to do it was. I'd been to many wrestling shows before, and I talked to people about getting in the business, but never really had like a concrete answer. I didn't know if it's like maybe go the old route and you do the ring breakdowns and you get in that way, you start doing training with shows, or if you go to a training school. And I just, Knoxville, where I was at, was only about an hour and a half, 2 hours away. Um, so moved down there, applied for the JPWA, and just started that way, man.
So this is a question because he is such a legend, and not just for the work he's done for WWE, but if you are a big fan like I am, you know his work from his journey from wrestling all through the South. Dr. Tom Pritchard, how is he in real life? And I guess what I mean by that, being a trainer, because you get an ideal of how people are, but you never get a chance to really get to know them personally.
Mhm.
How
He's
is Doc?
I love Doc. I love Doc to death. Always great to have a conversation and definitely pick his brain if I ever run into him or if I get the chance to sit down and talk to him. I love to just I mean I grew up playing football and so I love like a direct coach. Like you're gonna tell me what I do wrong and you're gonna tell it in a way that you're not tearing me down, but you're building me up at the same time. But if I'm bad, you're gonna tell me I'm bad at something and I need to fix it. And that's just the way that Doc is with everybody. Um it's just trying to find the best way. I didn't know about cussing on. I mean, I haven't really
You
heard
know,
anybody cuss on the shows.
I,
So
all the kids are in bed, and I put up a fit to, so you're good.
Doc, one of my favorite sayings from him is, um, you're not the shits, you're the drizzling shits." And you're just like you're it's like that rank up, you know. I don't want to be the drizzling shits. I want to get to the shits, and then I want to be the shit at the top of the pyramid. Like that's just the bottom ladder, and I don't want to be there. I do not want to be there at all.
Oh, oh, that's beautiful, and I can see him saying that too.
Uh, but I mean, and he makes it so like the training he loves, like just he's so authentic with it, and he's so enveloped in it, and his ways are so cool. Um, Wednesdays were our promo days, and that's obviously we're practicing our promos, our mic skill stuff like that. One of his favorite things to do is he's going to pick out. You have a minute. He's going to give you a countdown. He's gonna give you a word out of this dictionary he carries around, and you're gonna use that dictionary. You're gonna use that word somehow. Luckily, for the rest of us, it's bread or thesaurus or thermometer, something like that. And we're going to like these old school, like 70, 80s promo, like you would hear Dusty say back in the day. And then one dude, I swear, one of my classmates got the worst word. He got applesauce, and he just froze. And he's sitting there, and I mean, the man, he's literally just repeating the word applesauce and trying to like get it in the context. And he does it for a full minute, just repeats the word applesauce. I was like, he's done for. His brain has melted. It's going to ooze out of his ear. He's finished.
Oh my goodness,
Well,
I couldn't imagine. I think of myself as being quick witted, but certain things, and when certain people would ask, I I had a chance to actually talk to Dr. Tom one time, and it was at a convention here in Knoxville, and just so happened when I walked by, he had the Texas title with him, and I immediately saw it, and I was like, "Oh man, that's the world class Texas title." Like I said, I'm a big wrestling nerd, so I knew exactly what it was. And he's like, "Yeah," he's like, "Yeah, that's the world class." I said, "Yeah, I know that's the original too, ain't it?" And he was like, "Wow, that's pretty good." Me and him stood and talked for over hell 30, 35 minutes, something like that. And also Wendell Cooley was there.
wow.
So I'm talking to these legends like we're old friends and stuff. And I think I impressed Doc so much that he was just surprised of everything I knew. And then I was like, well, and I looked at my watch. I'm like, oh man, I'm sorry, I got to go. I got something to do. I said, but thank you. It's so amazing talking to two legends or whatever. He's like, hey, man, go to the it was Global Force Wrestling show that was up in Sevierville,
Mhm.
and it was at the Smoky Mountain, the Smoky Stadium where the Smokies used to play at, and I just his interaction, he's just so laid back. He
Oh yeah.
doesn't he doesn't make you feel like you're in front of a legend. He's just any guy. I like
Oh,
how
and I feel like that's what makes his teaching style so great, is that he's giving you these sparks of wisdom, but it's not uncommon for us to be in the middle of a training drill, something like that, and he stops you down, and he'll go from this like really low octave, like you're leaning in to listen to him, and then he'll just bust out, and he'll scream into the top of his lungs, and he's giving you these examples, and he's so exaggerated with his movements, and you're just entrapped with it. And he's like, "Calm down, you're good, you're okay." It's just this build drop that it just keeps you on your toes. That you can't do anything but live in the moment and enjoy it and learn everything because he's just so captivating.
And that's what I noticed with your promo. You you really captured where I had to. I was really wrapped into what you were saying, and especially being a heel. Anytime a heel can wrap you around there, then it's like, I got you. You will do whatever. You are a monkey on the string now. I can pull your strings and you'll do whatever I want. And I noticed that about you. Your movements, the way you talk, and the delivery. It's definitely and it put me in mind of the old school Southern wrestling style that I loved as a kid and love as an adult. It's just amazing how well you do it.
I really appreciate you saying that. I've always loved talking, and I love wrestling was like my way to like break that outer shell, and like it was so much easier for me to talk to people after I started wrestling. Um, and the trick I actually got from Dr. Tom was he loves to cut promos on people everywhere. I mean, like he's like in line at the bank, or he's sitting in traffic, he's behind somebody at the grocery store, and he told me that. I started doing it myself. Like I'll be sitting in line, cutting through Knoxville or whatever, doing traffic, and I'll just look over and I'll find one specific person, and that heel mentality, I'm just gonna start breaking it down. I see you over there, buddy. I mean, you're just driving that beat up old Honda Civic. I mean, bumpers falling off. I know what you do. You the guy that's gonna come out here and you be happy for the hot dog and the handshake. You ain't trying to make no money to fix up that broke ride of yours. You're out here trying to get the bare minimum. You ain't hanging with me none, not one bit.
Oh, good. So once you got through the training, where was your first match?
Of that was my first match. I was actually still in training when I had my first match. I was still at the Nightmare Factory. Um, it was before our showcase, and I got the opportunity to wrestle for it's Tennessee Championship Wrestling, and I believe it was Dixon, because a good friend of mine, Cobra Singh, had wrestled from there. He'd held some titles there, and he's like, "Hey, you want to hop in the car with us, and we'll go?" And it was 4 or 5 of us. It was, myself, it was Cobra, it was, The Rocket Josh Benson, Larry Lazard, Teriyaki, um, we're all in the same class at that time. We just hop in, we drive out to Dixon, and, I know they'd had a couple cancellations on that show, so we were running double duty with, like, Devin Dixon was there, Mike Mayo, just a couple guys like that, and we're running double duty, so it goes from my first singles match against Josh Benson to a uh, 8-man tag for the main event. And I mean, we had this awesome waterfall spot where it's just bam, 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 like classic waterfall spot. Uh, and it was I'll always love it because it's my first match. It was just super special because of how well the audience interaction was and just the overall guys I got to work with.
So training in the Nightmare Factory. Um, how is QT Marshall?
Oh, you mean QT Marshall? You better get it right, Bear. You gotta get it right. No, QT's awesome, dude. Um, Cody, QT, we got to train with Ray Lloyd Glacier from WCW. Got to meet I mean, we were at the time it was right in Atlanta. So we had it was kind of like Dublin as a training facility for a lot of AEW guys because it was right before Cody's transition back into WWE.
Right.
Um, but like QT's amazing. Love picking his brain. Me and Glacier got super close. Uh, like I'll call him. I try to check in at least once a month because of how busy both of everybody's schedule is.
Yeah.
He just got married recently. I love you, Coach Ray. Congratulations on that. Long time coming. I was surprised she didn't drag you down that aisle sooner. Uh, but uh, but no, I mean everybody. I mean Luke Sampson is another guy. He was one of the first guys to go through. He was camp number one, and he's back as one of the main coaches there. Love him to death. Um, just overall, just so many different styles and brains to pick from. I mean, it's just a honeypot of knowledge down there.
Is that something that you find overwhelming at times?
I mean, it can be overwhelming just because you're like, "Wow." It's really until you figure out exactly who you want to be, what kind of wrestling you actually want to do, it can definitely be overwhelming for a lot of people. But that was a piece of advice I got before I attended JPWA, which is like, just sit down and pick out exactly like try to get as close to who you want to be as possible because I mean obviously you get a foundation and then you build on that foundation. But it's they're not just solely based in their own styles. They also have this wealth of knowledge from like every other style, like people they've wrestled with that they've picked up tidbits from, and it's just so helpful. And I'm so very grateful for the opportunities and for all the knowledge that's been passed down.
So let's talk about some of your title wins.
Okay.
Uh, you are currently the EPW. Uh, what is
The
geez,
next level champion.
thank you. Me and old, but
No, you fine. Don't you be pressing that BS on me. I know
well,
you so
look.
sharp as they come.
Oh, now that's one thing I would definitely never try to BS anybody. My knowledge of certain things is crazy good. It's just some days the day knowledge just goes right past me. I'm like, what? Come on now. I did this so many times, but it's just a part of getting older and sometimes you have so much knowledge in something, you have to start throwing some things out to bring in new things.
Oh, I'm with you 100% on that. I can't tell you how much stuff I forget. I'm just threw out for all the wrestling stuff I've been trying to pack into this big head of mine. I'm just trying to pack it, pull man, I swear, and I just forget. I forget my head if it wasn't attached sometimes.
So, what was your first title
My
that you won?
first my first title one was actually was Southern Pride Championship Wrestling. It was the tag team titles. I won them with my current partner Xander Storm. And we had I want to say probably about a 3 or 4 month run with those. Before I departed from that, I love that show. It just recently had its last show. Unfortunately, it was based in La Follette. Um, but we had a good time with that. I think they were running probably two every 2 weeks, so 2 shows a month. Uh, so eight shows overall. We were the tag champions before my departure from there. And then obviously my next title was my current title, which is the EPW Next Level Championship.
So when you, because I know a lot of people look at it differently, but when you won your two titles,
Mhm.
uh, does what does it make you feel when the company is like, okay, we need you to be the champion?
Oh, I just want to take it and run with it, man. Like, give me that ball, and I want to see as far as I can go with it. Because I'm very appreciative of the faith. Because I mean, that's a big act of faith. Is saying, hey, we think you can do so much with this. Here, take it and just go wild. And that's why I want to like. I try to treat every show like it's my last. Like if I go out there and I never step foot in the squared circle again, like I want to make it as memorable as possible. And of course, Xander had the title before me, and he cashed it in for an opportunity at the heavyweight. Um, and I'm glad him doing what he's doing with that. I'm all behind him for it. Uh, but I just love the opportunity to try and better the company as much as I can with whatever ability I have.
That is an awesome thing to hear. With that being said, they just got tag team titles. Now, me and the way I think about things, I have an awesome partner and we're 1 and 2.
Hmm.
Depends on what day I'm one, what day he may be one, but we're 1 and 2. There's no doubt about that. My brain, I'm like, man, okay, there are more gold over there. Man, we had some titles before. I think it's time to get them again. Is that
Oh,
a possibility?
I'm yeah, 100%, 100%. Because I mean, you get that taste for it. You get that taste for that gold, and you just get a little bit greedy with it. I'm just like, I want it all. And I mean, and plus, I mean, I feel like green definitely suits Xander. I mean, that's his main color scheme. I need to throw a little bit of green my way. I mean, everybody's happy with a little green. You know what I mean?
Right?
Um, no, I mean, I definitely feel like a tag title run is in the future, and I can't wait for that because especially, you know, with Nakeem and Ethan both being on the line right there. And I seen you in here earlier, Nakeem. I seen that. I saw you sneaking in here to throw a comment at me, dude. Uh, I that would have you would have loved that show. We did a benefit show. I'm going off on a tangent here real quick,
Go
but
ahead.
did a benefit show for the Lowell, Kentucky Fire Department, and I worked Nakeem. Well, of course, Nakeem comes out there all swagger. You know how he is. You've seen him,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Hey, man," and I noticed he's doing this thing with his hands, and I was like, "Where have I seen that?" I was like, "He's Scott Halling me right now with his hand movements," because he's got that swagger to him. He's like, "Hey, man, listen, um, why don't you throw that title on the line and we'll see who walks out of Louisville with it." And I said, "Hell no, Nakeem. No, ain't no way in hell." I said, "This is mine." I said, "You can't be just swagging your ass in here and then expecting to get something that's mine." I said, "That ain't how this works." I said, "At this point, man," I said, "you at the back of the line." But of course, we come back and we had a really good match, and I love working the king. Even though you cheap shotted me, you bastard, come back here and smack me in the back of the head behind the apron. Uh, but no, I love working the team. I would love to. I haven't had the chance to work Ethan yet, but I have watched him on a few shows that I've been around. Um, some in Kentucky. There was a promotion in Indiana that I got to watch him work at. So I think it would be great. I feel like we would be able to put on a great show. And at the end of the day, that's what you want, right? Is you want to come out there and you want to entertain, you want to build the future generation of wrestling fans and keep that tradition going. Like that's our responsibility. And I'd love the opportunity to keep doing that with them.
Speaking of which, it is amazing to me when I go to smaller shows and how much the fans will make you forget where you are. They are loud. They're vocal. They if they like you, they're gonna cheer for you. If they don't, they're gonna let you know. Man, I was so caught up into listening to the fans, and I do this a lot when I go to different wrestling shows. Sometimes I will close my eyes and just listen, just to see, okay, can I tell where I'm at? And what I mean by that is where I close my eyes and the fans are so involved, I can't tell you. I could be at WWE, I could be at AEW, and and that's what I felt with the last show. It was so, man, everything just popped and was together, and I was such, uh, and I guess going into it, I didn't have any reservations or pre-thought of what I thought the show was going to be, and I was blown away just from top to bottom. Everybody just, you could tell everybody wanted to be there and was good and gave their all. And I appreciated that so much that I'm looking forward to the next show now.
Oh man, we can't wait to have you back. I mean, I love that area. The people of Oliver Springs are very interactive and they're so giving. Like you said, they'll tell you if you're and as a heel, I want them to hate me. I want you to come out there. I want to have to wear I maybe not that far. I was about to say I want to have to wear a Roddy Piper jacket just in case one of them little chittens out there come up and just shank me right in the side. But no, I mean, they're such a great people, and the people of the DVA down there, so thoughtful, so helpful, so encouraging for us to come back. Well, that's one of the most welcoming places I've ever wrestled. And I feel like we're just going to continue to keep making just great magic down there with them.
It is amazing. I get it every blue moon. Well, no. I would say this year I've been to Kentucky more this year than I have been all my life. I've gotten the chance to see so many different shows and different meet people and hang out, and I kind of feel bad that I didn't realize on how deep Kentucky's independent shows were, and I'm so glad that I'm learning it now because it's tremendous. Yeah, it's so much. It it puts me in the mind of when I was a kid, and I know I go back to saying that so much, but it means the world to me because that is when wrestling was such an excitable time for me, and I could tell the wrestlers gave a damn about their product and they just work y'all, and I see the same thing from y'all work y'all tails off, and it's the giving part. And even when y'all take the break and y'all interact with the fans, I see y'all come out, and man, it's such an enjoyable, wholesome thing to see because I'm going to be frank. Wrestling right now, the big ones are stale. They're not hitting. The wrestling is pretty good, but to make me fall in love with it, if I wasn't a fan, I necessarily wouldn't. But if you go to independence, oh, my wife, first time I took my wife to one, and she's a fan of independent. She does not like the bigger shows. She loves it because the interaction, and like she said, it's so much action, and she could tell y'all it means something to y'all. It's the art form, and I think is what's missing in the bigger companies now.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you that I feel like it's more like a transactional for certain. I mean, for the companies in general, of course, it's a business prospect. Um, but for certain individual wrestlers, I feel like I mean, I agree with you on that. It's more of like a transaction on that. It's like they've lost that personal connection. Um, I mean, I just don't, that's something that kind of like doesn't click with my brain because I want to go out there and I want to have that personal interaction. Like me sitting down next to you and be like, hey man, this is some bullshit. This over here does knock me in my nose. And I love to have that interaction with it. I love to see, um, I love to see a kid get up and get excited and be like, I hate you or you're my favorite and stuff like that. I just don't. It just doesn't click for me. Like I'm not. I feel like if a lot more wrestlers took um, that indie presence and that fan interaction, I mean, just like it was, it would be almost perfect. And on a side note, um, my lady, you mentioned your wife, so I got to mention her. My lady came and saw me for the first time. That she was at that last show, and she was fired up too. Because I mean, obviously she's my lady.
Right.
She didn't really know. I told her, I said, listen, I said, they're going to hate me. I said, that is my goal. That's my dream for the evening is I want them to be so mad at me that fire shoots from their eyes. She was getting defensive on my part.
Of
And
course.
she was getting mad for a completely different reason. I said, now you're just taking all the fun out of it. I said, you gotta calm down. But no, I love her. She's great. And I feel like that's another thing too, is like just wrestling should be a family event. Like it should be a generational thing, like when we were kids. Um, like take the whole family out. If you're near an indie show, take them out, have a good time. You know, just let yourself be that little kid again, because that is like I get why you keep going back to that because that's the same way for me. That's the connection. That's when wrestling was the most important time where everything was Hulk Hogan was fighting Andre the Giant. That's David versus Goliath in real life form for you. And you had Jake the Snake getting his back broke by Honky Tonk Man. I mean, there's so many different kinds of interactions, and I mean, that's just how it should be.
I think so too. So, in 5 years, where do you want to be? Oh, no, no, not where you want to be. Where do you think you will be?
See, I I would lie and say, or I wouldn't. I'd be lying if I didn't say I could see myself. I want to be a big company guy because I feel like that's. I mean, I feel like that's every indie guy's dream is to be a main talent guy or a main roster guy for either one of the companies to make that big money, to be that presence, that household name. I feel like that's the main goal for everybody. But um, my goal, like I said, is I want to bring that, at least my part, I want to bring that indie presence back to the main roster. I want to travel the world. I want to see these places. I want to be a part of that world. I mean, that's my goal. And if Ray sees this, Coach Ray, listen, he told me, he said, don't ever put yourself on a timeline. Don't ever put yourself on a time frame because you never know what's going to happen. Like, go out there, be prepared, give everything you got 110% all the time. Um, but I'm sorry, Ray. 5 years from now, I want my name up in lights on the marquee. I want people to be buying out seats to come and see me. That's my goal. That's my dream. That's what I want.
So, this is something else that I think about a lot when it comes to indie wrestlers. It's not just that y'all are dreaming to do
Mhm.
things, it's the love of. Because how many people do you know who would work one, two jobs, then travel all over just to do a job that you held, may get paid $50 for, or depending on the promotion and where you're at, well, you did better than we thought, so hell, we're going to give you 100. You,
Mm,
but you have your life, and this is the thing that a lot of wrestling fans do not see or really think about. That y'all put so much time and effort into your craft to be a wrestler, be a boyfriend, be a husband, be a girlfriend, wife, etc., etc., that you put so much on the line that y'all do not get praised for. What do you, and I know you can't answer for anyone else, so why do you do it? Why it's 101 shot that you make it to one of the big ones.
mhm.
Why do you do it?
Me personally, I do it because I'm competitive as all hell. Now I am competitive, and I love competition and stuff like that. That's not a lie at all. No, it's just like you get that taste, you get that feeling. It's like it's a part of your soul. You know what I mean? It's like why musicians play music. It's why artists paint pictures. Like this is our canvas. Um, and like it's just like what you're meant to do. You know what I mean? That's like I cannot imagine my life without wrestling. And even if, even if I'm a little short on some cash here, or, I'm having some troubles here, whatever, like I want to wrestling's my outlet. You know what I mean? I can go out there, and if I've had an absolute horrible week leading up to the show, I can go out there and I can just be the best version of me that I can be. And that it's nobody else is out there but the people that actually appreciate the craft, or, fellow artists, stuff like that, people that understand. It's a big community, and I love the community.
Uh, and the main reason why I asked you that question, and I knew the answer, is just your love of wrestling.
Mhm.
And there are so many athletes out there, artists, if I said like Dusty, artists, if you will, baby, that it shows not only in you all's determination, but it shows in your work. And for me, not being able to live my dream as a wrestler, I'm getting to live my dream to be able to help get you out there, to give you your flowers, give you hopefully more fans, and help be a part of your rise. Not that I want anything or think anything. It's just my way of giving back to the sport I love. And I've met too many great people in here that I'm like, there's no way in the hell, if I can't do something to help you, I'm gonna do it. And I love it because I know the genuine love you have for this sport. And I want to give you your flowers. I'm all about giving people their flowers because there's too many people that don't get to get their flowers until it's too late. And what's the point of getting flowers that are dead
Mhm.
when you're alive and can get live flowers? And maybe this will help you on the days where it's rough and you're like, oh, I just can't do it. But man, I know them fans gonna help me. I know to see my co-workers, that's gonna cheer me up, and we can put on such a beautiful show. It's amazing. So again, after all that long filibustering, I want to tell you thank you for what you do. Thank you for helping me forget my issues, and thank you for making me want to punch you in the face.
Well, you anytime you want to take a swing at me, but you come on, man. I can take a hit now. Anytime you feeling that, you just come on. But no, man.
Look, hey, if I was a little bit in better shape, I would take you up on that offer. But the way I've been feeling lately, a good wind can blow me down.
No. You still strong as an ox, or at least stubborn as one. I tell you that. But no,
Yeah, funny enough, you say that. That's what my nickname was. My dad used to call me all the time. He
with
like,
an ox.
ox. He like, you just a big old dumb ox.
Oh, well. But no, man, I know I speak on behalf of everybody that's been on the show and everybody that you've talked to and all the wrestlers you've interacted with. We really appreciate the hell out of you. And, definitely thank you so much for letting me be on the show. I've had a blast. And I love talking about wrestling. So every time I get to sit here and jabber on and on about my love for the sport with somebody who also shares that love, it's always a great time for me. And I never want to take that for granted. So thank you so much.
Man, you definitely have an open invitation. Um, we definitely, hopefully, I was gonna say definitely gonna see each other in a couple of weeks, but every time I say that, something happens. So I would say it like this: hopefully, we'll get to see each other in a few weeks. Have fun again, um, and also I am giving away a custom Professor Bird jersey at the show.
There you go. That'd be
I,
awesome.
I had a fan, and it's still weird for me to say that, even with you telling me how much you like the show. One of the fans came up and like, "Hey man, I watch your show all the time. When are we gonna get Professor Bird swag?" I was like, "I'm working on it. I am working on it." So hopefully he will be back at the show this time, um, because it's because of what he said. I'm giving out a shirt free, and I just again, it's one of those things. I want to give what I can, and that only takes a second to give something, and hopefully that will give fans that experience, that love. Plus, as a side thing, I thought about as a kid, and you'll definitely be able to relate to this. When you went to wrestling and you wanted something, but you knew you couldn't get it, and you were happy that your parents took you, but you just wanted that one thing, and unfortunately, they just wasn't able to get. I thought about it a little bit, and I was like, man, I'm doing the free shirts. I mean, the free jersey. That's cool, but man, I hate to see some kids in the audience that they're happy, but they're going to be disappointed they didn't get it. So I'm gonna uh, uh, do a breaking news thing. I'm gonna give every kid that's at that show, I'm gonna give them a backpack,
Oh,
because I do not want to see a kid at that show leave unhappy because they couldn't get something. So I am gonna do that.
I
If
love that, man.
if
I
the
love
if
that.
the manager allows me, let me say it like that, which I think he will, but I don't want to I don't want to overstep my bounds, but I think that's just, and especially for Thanksgiving and the Christmas theme around it too, I think that'd be the right thing.
I don't think there'd be any issue with that, man. I don't. Like I said, everybody's super appreciative of everything you do, and you're just giving back to the community. You're spreading that wrestling love. I mean, I don't see why anybody would have any kind of an issue with that.
I don't either. Again, anytime you want to come on, just let me know. We'll make it happen. We'll have some more fun. we'll talk wrestling.
Yeah. You had me. Hey, I'll wear you out. Son. I mean, I'm just saying. You get on here, you get me jabbering. I mean, we already. It don't feel like it's already been an hour. We've been on here an hour already. So, I mean, I ain't never gonna look a gift horse in the mouth anytime. You just let me know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for everything you're doing. And one day I may take you up. Well, I'm gonna make sure your lady is not there because I don't want her jumping me and beating me up. So
She's she's vicious, man. I love her to death, but I'm like there's been plenty of times I've got more bruised up from her than from being in the ring with these guys. These big old boys out here, especially Nakeem. Nakeem over here trying to take a rib or something, and she about beat him to it. I mean, it's something. But no, we'll get it all squared away, man. Like I said, I really appreciate you having me on the show, and I cannot wait to be back on it.
oh, thank you again too. Guys, girls, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Again, it's been one of those really fun episodes. Um, Definitely appreciate y'all. Two quick things. Remember, I do not care where you are. If you are in the United States, if you're overseas anywhere, there are indie promotions close to you. Take the time to go and enjoy that. It's much cheaper. You get to interact with the wrestlers, and you will have a family vibe that you cannot get anywhere else unless you are at a family reunion. I promise you that. So check out and support your indie promotions. And last but not least, um, shut up and enjoy wrestling. I am Professor Bear. This has been a Bear's Thought, and we will be back around the campfire soon. Y'all take care.